If you guys want to see an application, or if you want to, you just got questions about a specific product that I might be able to answer. If I can't, I'll get the answer to you guys, anything like that at all. So the first thing I'm going to cover is the Genesis website. This is a great resource website for you guys when you're out in the field. And, when you have, just questions of where you should go as you're getting started in the process. The second thing that I'm going to do, I know Michael and I just had a conversation a little bit ago about recruiting. He wasn't sure if it was too soon for him to recruit or if he should be recruiting or shouldn't be recruiting. Hey, I will tell you if, we'll help train them, obviously. But if you are interested in, potentially building a team, I would tell you to start now. Here's why. The first thing is it's going to force you to get into the activity, right? It's going to force you to probably learn some things that I'm not going to say you didn't want to learn, maybe you would have picked up later. It's going to force you to start asking questions about the business that you might not have answered, which is going to accelerate you faster, further from a knowledge standpoint and an income standpoint, because the more you learn, the more you earn, right? So there's those things. The other part of it is why keep someone else from an opportunity that they might flourish, they might shine. And the more you help them, the more it's going to help you too in a multitude of different ways that aren't just financial. So I'm going to go over the Genesis recruiting website for you guys. It's all been generated and created for you to keep it simple. So you have a place to tell people to go. That's the first thing. And then we're going to go over the Genesis site and then anything else that you guys want to see. Oh, compensation. Those are the three things that we always cover on here. And then from there, seriously, guys, if you have any questions, there's no stupid questions. I'm happy to answer whatever you got. All right. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. I will ask you guys periodically if you can see my screen, because I don't know, for some reason, this technology decides that it wants to take a break every now and then on me. All right, so let's just start with this one because it's on the screen. So this is the recruiting website. This is join fflgenesis.com. So the only difference between our resource site and the recruiting site is join in the front of it. Join fflgenesis.com. If you look up at the very top, you can see it's there on what they call the URL line. All right, that's the first thing. So you can see along the top of screen of the legend, you can see here, it says, join our team, change your life, and then view opportunity. If they click view opportunity, what it does is it takes them out to the Rogue IMO video, right? So they're going to go here. If you see at the very top, there's my name, Corey Williams, invites you to learn more about, and then it gives them a really quick illustration. They're going to click get access, and then they're going to enter in their information, first name, last name, their state, email, phone number. You can set one of these links up for yourself as well. When you do that and that person watches the video, the information is sent to you. So you have all of their information, first name, last name, the state they're from, and email. Pretty cool. You can reach back out to them. All right, any questions there? Perfect. Okay, so the next one is the F at the top, the FFL. Let me scroll on the page so you guys can see this too. This is a short, I think it's a 5-6 minute video about why FFL, put out there by Grady Polson and his guys. You've got Jonathan Porcina that's writes $1 million a year on his own pen, which is absolutely incredible. And I think his wife, I can't remember her name right now, but she's at the point where she's doing $500,000 a year. So that tells you that there are duplicatable systems here that you can stick yourself into to get better every day. And then of course, Jake Conan as well, I think he'll be one of the next $1 million a year producers as well. Guy just flat out gets it done. So at the top, again, on the legend, you can see the Ffl Overview. When I click on that, this takes you straight to the video. So you can take someone to this video, copy the link, send it to them, or you can go to YouTube and pull the link, or you could create your own URL, which is very simple. I'll show you guys how to do that in just a second, and create your own link that you could literally copy, paste, and text to people. What we provide: term, whole life, universal life, and annuities. That's all we do here. And pretty soon we're going to be offering Medicare supplements. So I'll have to update our site to make sure that this is accurate and up to date for when people are looking at our opportunity. How we do it. So what we do, how we do it, how to have a fast start, etc. Okay. Compensation, which we're going to cover here in just a second. Video from Sean announcing our new monthly bonus. And then what they call a BDM, or business development meeting, which I do every other week from our office. Virtual sales process. This is starting to be much more common now. A lot of people are starting to sell virtually, especially now that winter months are coming. And, not only that, give your client the option when you're talking to them, when you're setting up your appointments. We can do it right now. We can do it via Zoom, or we can set up a face-to-face and go from there. And there's a link here that takes you out to the virtual process. All right, hold on one second, you guys. All right, so this is a separate website that actually there's been a couple of updates that have been put on here about the virtual process. So I will tell you guys that are just getting started here, you really do need to learn the in-home process first and get that mastered. And the reason I say that, I'm not trying to deter you. You might be somebody that comes out of here right out of the gate, picks up the virtual process and runs with it. But I will tell you, it's good to know the in-home process first and how to maneuver around, when somebody has health conditions. If you're talking to them on the phone, it's going to be kind of difficult to click over, call the in-home helpline, and then click back over and those kind of things. After a while, that's going to get annoying, or they're going to hang up on you. But the faster you get at being able to find that solution, or not need the in-home helpline as much, or not have to call your upline as much, is going to speed up that process. So we just want to let you know what your resources are. This is the virtual training resource center, if you will, but there are tons and tons of videos. And there's some really good videos of people out there doing it that aren't even with FFL, but FFL has a ton, as you guys know. All right, so that's right here on our website. Takes you out from the virtual process out to the virtual world, if you will. Podcasts, which we got 2 new podcasts that are going to be coming out. I think I'm shooting one today and another one tomorrow. And then join the team. So here's where this is important. If you have someone that you're recruiting or somebody that you want, to see the process, you can simply send them here after you've talked to them so they can peruse through, watch things on their own at their own time. You also have a link that you can create to recruit, which I'll show you guys here in just a moment. And then from there, they literally come out of here and put their name, their email address, and then they put your name that obviously that you recruited them in there. I will actually do the interview with you or for you, do the interview with you again or for you, and then we'll help that person get set up. Now, you need to be a part of the process for sure, but we'll help you get through that as well. Anybody have any questions about the recruiting site? Okay, perfect. So now I'm going to come to, I should say, the Ffl Genesis site. So this site is set up specifically for you guys, the agents. It was created for the agents, by the agents. And basically what we've done here is we've put a site together that'll help you guys figure, if it 75, I would say 75 to even 85% of what you need on a daily basis is going to be out here. So you can create all kinds of other shortcuts, other windows, that kinds of stuff. But honestly, you're just going to be, in my opinion, you're going to be wasting your time. Everything's here. You can go to one point of contact, one point of reference, and then go through. I highly recommend these 2 videos. And I was going to change these on a weekly basis, but these are so good and they're very short. The one on the left, the LIFE acronym, Life, Income Replacement, Final Expense, and Education. If you're not using this in the home, you're costing your client protection and you're costing yourself income, because otherwise you're just guessing. Your client is just guessing. They're not sure how much coverage they actually need or don't need. If you watch that video, scroll to about 7.5 minutes in, and what Tim does, he is actually here in St. Louis as well. What Tim does is he actually goes through what to say in there. We actually have a couple of other videos out there as well, but he walks through what you say step by step using the LIFE acronym. On the right-hand side, if maybe you're struggling in the home or you're not sure what to say, or maybe you're one of those people that needs to see it, Jordan Lowry does, who has a huge organization here. He does this video. It's about 9 minutes long. That's what I duplicated my in-home from. And then I just actually created a couple of additional things to it, if you will, watching other videos. That's an excellent video to watch as well about in-home. All right, a couple of other things here. As I mentioned, creating your own link for recruiting. On the left-hand side here, it says Best Business Ever. You can click on the picture or the link. When you click on that, you put your first name, last name, email, and phone number. And what it does is it creates a link for you that you can send to people if you're talking to them about recruiting them to come here. Very professional, very easy. Your name, phone number, email address is on there. It's very, very simple. All right, so before we move on, does anybody have any questions? All right, either you guys are asleep because it's early or I'm doing good, one or the other. All right. So I think most of you guys on here are new or newer. The boot camp. So I'm just going to click on this really quick. Hopefully it doesn't give me any issues this morning, me having to sign in. If you haven't completed the boot camp, I highly recommend it. It doesn't stop you from going out and selling, but what it does is it takes you through the process. Once you finish, you'll get you'll get a certificate at the end. You'll get an email. I believe her name's Alicia. If you send her your certificate, email it to her, letting her know you've completed the boot camp. You'll get 30% off your first lead order, but you have to do it. You have to complete it within 2 weeks of starting it. So if you don't, it doesn't apply. But what this does, I can tell by just some of the questions that people ask if they've gone through the boot camp or not, because a lot of the questions that a new agent's going to have, they're going to be answered here. Selling without leads, using the CRM. I mean, it literally goes through it. Completing a lead, a lead breakdown. Being introduced to leads if you've never had. I'd never purchased a lead until I got here to FFL in 20 plus years. So feeling pretty fortunate about that for sure. And just some of the other things on here, phone training, phone scripts. That brings up my next point here. Phone training. Velocity puts on a phone training every day, or excuse me, every week, excuse me, on Mondays and Thursdays, 8:30 Central, I think 7:30 Eastern. And what it does is you are able to listen to some of the top performers in the country make dials. And as you're listening to them make dials, you can literally take yourself off mute and ask them why they said what they said, or what type of leads they're dialing, what lead resources they're using, how many dials have they made so far, what type of results, how many appointments they set. And there's somebody that comes on there every 35 to 45 minutes. Somebody else will come on. So maybe it's not somebody you jive with, you don't like what they're saying, but if you continue to be on there. So when I first started, because I'd never sold like this before or just sat there and hammered the phone with leads, it was a very simple process to get on there and just listen to people, make a couple of dials, listen to people, make a couple of dials. So it got to the point where it was like, okay, I got it. I understand what I need to say now and go from there. But what a great resource that no one uses. There's over 6,000 people in the Velocity chain, if you will. And there's usually the same 40 or 50 of us that are on there every single week. So I don't know why as a new agent, you wouldn't be on there, especially if you're struggling on the phone and not setting 15 appointments per dial session. Any questions about when the dial session is? Any questions about the boot camp?
Hey, Corey, it's Paul.
Yay, Paul. Good morning, man.
Good morning to you. Hey, I'll just throw in just a personal testimonial on both of those. So I'm not done with the boot camp. I'm not going to hit that 2-week mark, but the boot camp is very lengthy, and you really have to focus and put in some time to get through it. I'm about 60% done, but boy, some invaluable information and videos. I mean, I basically watched, what's his name? The one guy on the in-home that he does the 8-minute, or I'm sorry, the 8 steps. The 8 steps.
Probably Grady Polson.
No, it's oh shoot.
Matt Smith, Grady Polson, Jordan Lowry.
Oh, one of those guys, but
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
If you go through the boot camp, you'll see this video. It's the 8 steps. I'm sure it's available elsewhere. No, it's Paul McLean. Paul McLean. Yeah. And it's the 8 steps. And the first one is, get your mind right. The second one is, and then he goes on. And just because I was watching that boot camp, I said, man, this guy is right on target for me, at least. And I've watched that about 4 times, and I basically wrote down those 8 steps. I added a 9th one, referrals, at the end. But I mean, that's on my notepad when I go into a home now, and I'm basically using that as my cheat sheet, and it's my checklist. So, if you don't, what you were saying before, if you don't have an organized, presentation in your mind and execute it, then you're just kind of going in there and saying, well, do you want some life insurance? Well, that's not good for anybody. So anyways, that's my testimony on the boot camp. And then this week, for the first week, I was on both of the Zoom dial sessions, Monday and Thursday. And boy, same thing. They change somebody every 45 minutes to an hour. And I just keep a little notepad and write down notes. The one young gal consistently said, I just have to confirm a few pieces of information, I'll get you right off the phone. And I thought, wow, that's great. Otherwise, these people, they don't know if, you're going to want to talk to them for 20 minutes. And It was very effective. So you just pick up these little tidbits here and there and apply them to your dialing style. And so anyways, I'm just a real big fan of both of those.
Good. I'm glad to hear that, Paul. And I love to hear those endorsements from Paul's not new to the industry. He's very good at what he does. He's just figuring out the process here. And it's just different. But I'm glad to hear you say that, Paul, especially for the other two guys that are on here just getting started. Because a lot of times people are like, oh my God, another meeting. But you don't know what you're missing unless you're not on there. And like you said, what if you pick up one or two things to say when you're making your dials that takes your dials to the next level? I'll give you a case in point. When I first started, what's coming up on a year ago next month was, I can't believe this much time has passed already. But when I first started, I'd call people or whatever. And then it was like, I was getting, I don't want to say immediately getting hung up on. I'm okay on the phone. But just that start to say that one thing, I'm not a telemarketer, it freezes people for just long enough, because nobody's saying that. Because when a telemarketer calls, they know they're a telemarketer. They're not going to say that, right? So it's just that little thing. And Paul, just like you said, hey, I'm just verifying the information. Another thing you can use, if you're calling older leads, if you're buying those 3-month lead because you're starting and you're like, hey, there's no way on God's green earth I'm going to pay $25 for a lead, and you're buying $3 leads and they're older, throw in there, hey, when you call, hey, Miss Smith, I apologize. We're just getting back to you. We did an audit here, and it's my job to make sure that you got the information you requested. That freezes people, because they're not a telemarketer wouldn't say that. Does that make sense to you guys? And it's just saying those little teeny tiny things that you'll pick up on the, matter of fact, I got that from a dialing session. And Paul, you hit it right on the head. There's some things that some people, you're going to be listening to them dial and you're going to go, I can't believe that person sets any appointments at all. And they're setting appointment after appointment after appointment. And there's going to be some people you're going to hear and go, man, that was great, but they're not setting any appointments. That's why it's until you get your feet under you and you get your script down to where you can just say it like you're having a conversation. I highly recommend getting on there, because there are people you're going to connect with on there, and you're going to hear something that's going to take you to the next level. All right. I digress. Thank you, Paul, for that. Much appreciated.
Quick question. Where can we, and you probably already mentioned this, where can we watch this recording? Because I can only take notes so fast. I'm hearing a lot of great stuff.
Well, here's the deal, Mick. It will be recorded. I promise you this will be on YouTube today. I promise you that. That's the second thing. And there's only a few people that watch these, which is okay. The second thing is, that's exactly what this training is for. You put a smile on my face, Mick. Other than seeing my daughter this morning, that just put a smile on my face. You're taking notes. Here's the deal. I know I talk fast. That's what these trainings are for. So Mick, don't put yourself in a spot. If it's something you don't get, hey, Corey, can you repeat that? Or can you slow down? You're not going to hurt my feelings. Okay. Because trust me, there's other things I could be doing at 8:48 on a Saturday morning. So I hear you. I want to make sure you get it. So if I need to slow down, just let me know. Thanks, Mick. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. So just a quick reminder, as you guys are getting your carriers, make sure you're entering them into HCMS. If you don't have an HCMS link, you should. Just let Amy know. Amy's actually on here now and doesn't have to be. That's how committed she is to this thing. But just make sure you enter in your stuff. We have videos on our website, which I'll show you guys here in just a second, that will walk you through that. If you need the help, of course, reach out to Amy or myself. Very simple stuff. Monthly bonus. Sean just put this monthly bonus in place. I think this is month 2 of it. 30,000 issue paid. And for those of us that are new, issue paid is the premium that pays, and then it's on the books. Let me give you an example of that. You go out and you help Mr. and Mrs. Smith this afternoon, and both of their policies are $83 a month, so $1,000 a year. And they issue, that's going to be $2,000 issue paid. They made their first premium check. You're going to get paid a couple days later. That's issue paid. 30,000 issue paid in a month is $500 bonus, non-charge backable bonus. 40,000, $750, 50,000, 1,000. And then people are obviously blowing way past that, but we just want to let you guys know, here's the bonuses. And if you guys have any questions about that, let us know. All right. I know we talk about this on Fridays, but I just want to let you guys know what this is. Again, if you go out, If you're a WorkSpots member, you go out and just literally take a screenshot of this. I'll post this on Slack again this morning. You can get 25% off of all internet leads just for leaving a recommendation for on oh my God, you guys, losing my mind here. Hold on. For WorkSpots. Sorry, my screen's moving around. All right.
What is WorkSpots?
Okay, I'm gonna cover that here in 2 seconds. Thanks for asking.
Yep.
I should probably flip these, right? But just take a screenshot of this. Just put, if you're a WorkSpots member, then you can do that. So let's go ahead and go here. Go down to my WorkSpots slide. Sorry about that for you guys' eyeballs here. Right, here it is. Okay, so Mick, here's what WorkSpots is. Any office in FFL that is a part of WorkSpots, you're going to be able to find on the WorkSpots application. It's literally just, I think it's called WorkSpots app. It's $99 a month, but what it does is you're able to print, so many copies a month. It gets you access to the office, snacks, high-speed internet. It gives you a place to dial. It gives you a place to, commiserate with some other teammates across the country and locally. And it also gives you, access to, honestly, just being around people and getting around some other training. So I wish she was on, but she's in a different time zone. Her Mariana Grawl, who is Tim Below's daughter, for those of you guys that don't know, she had her best week last week of over $10,000. She's the closest off, and I don't recommend this, but the closest office to her is 3 hours away. So every Monday, she drives 3 hours to do her dials. And she's around some of the other top performers there. The first week she did that, that first week she did that, she wrote $11,000 that week. And that's what it does. It's just being around other people. You're going to pick up other resources, other things, etc. I know I'm beating this to death, but $99 gets you a WorkSpot membership. You're going to save on leads. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. When WorkSpots first came out, I'm like, no way on God's green earth am I signing up for that. That's stupid. And then once they really explained it, I'm like, well, it makes perfect sense. Now with WorkSpots, they've done this. They're just consistently adding other partners and partnerships to the WorkSpots deal. So 50% off of rentals with Enterprise and National. So Enterprise is who I use anyway. So I just need to figure out, how this program works. But think about that, 50% off of rentals just because you're part of a WorkSpot membership. And they have all kinds of other things. Best Buy, Home Depot, I think Adidas is one of them. And you just go to the app and it does that. So it's a $99 membership that you're going to write off on your taxes as a business owner. And then you're going to use it to other things for your business that you're going to write off as well. So to me, WorkSpots is a no-brainer. Does that answer your question, Mick?
100%. Thank you.
Perfect. You're very welcome. So I'm just going to do this in reverse order now. Annual convention coming up in February. They just put a thing out yesterday, I think, that has some hotel recommendations. Guys, this is no different than anything else. If you can get yourself there, it'd be great. I went to I'd only been here 3 months, and they asked me to speak at the national convention last year in Kansas City, and it was awesome. People I met, the people I'm still connected with, Jordan Lowry, that's actually on our Ffl Genesis website. I reach out to him probably once a month, and I'm not one to do that. Just, hey man, how's it going? He just had a birthday. I texted him the other day. He's like, if you need anything at all, please let me know. And I just get some tips and pointers and stuff from him from time to time. But these events, guys, what it does, it will set you on fire. And I mean that in a positive way, of being around some other people and hearing some inspiring stories and, those kind of things. There's a 19-year-old young man that he's going on his second year here that's going to write $500,000 this year. He's on pace to do that. Like, it's just crazy what you can do here. And if you just follow the process. Launch is coming up. Again, speaking of launching your career, right? Launch is coming up here November 15th in Phoenix, Arizona, for those of you guys that would like to go. It's going to be one of those Sean, Mike, all the heavy hitters and some new people that are doing really well. Heck, you never know. If you start kicking butt here between now and the next couple of weeks, they might call you and say, hey, can you come and speak? It happens. It happened to me. I can tell you that for sure. Wanted to mention this very quickly, the 8% bonus. So I'm going to slow this down for a second. I know Friday we typically speed through this. What this means, if you have $45,000, if you've paid $45,000 with Americo between June 1st and November 30th, they're going to cut you a check for 8% of that total premium. So if you had $50,000 on the books with them in that period of time, they're going to take that dollar amount and they're going to multiply it by 8%. And that's what they're going to send you a check for. Cool part about this is it comes, I think, that second week of December, right before Christmas. So if you're connected on the Facebook, FFL Facebook group, you're going to start seeing people post $8,000, $10,000, $15,000, $50,000, $80,000 checks. Pretty crazy. Any questions there? All right. So we want to make sure you guys are fully educated on the process and how you get paid and what you get paid and everything else. So here's the levels. I'm just going to start at the bottom here, just so you guys understand this. Again, issue paid. So if you wrote 10 people this month, they all paid their first month premium. That would be 10,000 issue paid for the month. If you do it in a week, then obviously it's a week. You do it in a day, which people have done that before. You do it in a day. So that's a bronze level producer is 10K. Silver level producer is 15. Gold is 20, so on and so forth, all the way up to emerald, which is $100,000. And yes, we have people doing $100,000. We had Vivian Well, I believe. Now, I think this was a week. I think she did $105,000 in a week a couple of weeks ago, which is just completely insane to me. Any questions as we move on? All right, cool. So from here, here's the boot camp, which we talked about. I mentioned just a few moments ago about 8CMS and how we have videos. Here they are, again, on the Ffl Genesis website. So I'm just going to click on one of these really quick because I know people are like, God, another video. But check this out. How to edit writing numbers, right? I'm just going to click on the link. It's going to take you out to YouTube. This video.
And if you notice
if you look on the left-hand corner of it, it's 42 seconds long. I mean, it's crazy. It's 42 seconds long. So just take the time, watch the video before you actually pick up the phone and call and say, how do I do this? Because a lot of these videos are really, really super short, like really short. All right, that's here on the resource website. All right, so a couple things here. When you come out here to this site, especially once you get ready to start writing and all that kind of stuff, on the left-hand side is the leads. So there's a video on YouTube, Ffl Genesis YouTube. If you put in CRM, there's a video out there that walks you through that. The first thing that you're going to do when you go into a home is use FFL-Go. Again, keep this very simple on yourself. The other carriers that are not on FFL-Go, we put right out here. Okay? Aetna, Prosperity, Great Western, Foresters, Transamerica. These are not on the FFL-Go drop-down dashboard. These are the carriers you're going to use consistently. And that's the reason why we added the links out here. So I'm simply going to click on the Get Quote or the FFL-Go link. It's going to take me out there. A couple things. On the left-hand side, the first time you come out here, you will not see what's on your screen right now. The center of your screen is going to be blank, but you'll have the legend on the left-hand side. Carrier quotes and info. If I click on that, that's what this looks like right now, what you see on the screen. Training podcast. They're constantly putting brand new training podcasts and stuff out here. Training videos. I'm not sure how much they update the videos, but if you go to YouTube, you're going to be able to find a lot of stuff out there on YouTube for sure. Scripts. Check this out. Look how many scripts there are. Final expense, age mortgage, EverQuote, John Hancock leads, text script, door knocking script. Like, so any scripts that you're going to need, you're going to be able to find it and morph them together if you need to. But once you get the script down, you know, most of the time you're just going to be going off the top of your head anyway. You're just going to have a phone conversation. Lead vendors. Again, this hasn't been updated in a little while, but all types of resources and stuff out here for leads and leads vendors. Hiring templates. So if you want to post stuff on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, TikTok, all the other social media platforms, Twitter, they're out here. You can take them, twist these, morph these, whatever you want to do with them. They're just giving you a legend here. And if you want to receive more information from Family First Life and Family First Life USA, you can simply put your stuff in here and you'll start getting email. It's pretty cool. Any questions about this as I go through this? Can I get an amen to make sure I'm not by myself?
Amen.
Amen.
All right.
Amen.
I appreciate it. Perfect. Okay. So when I click the drop-down box, I'm going to slow down just a little bit here. When I click the drop-down box, you're going to see the carriers. AMM, AIG, Americo. We don't use Assurant anymore, et cetera. Colombian Financial. You see all the carriers and stuff on here. The ones that aren't on here are the ones that we created outside of our site right here. Those are the other ones: Prosperity, Aetna, Great Western, Foresters, and Transamerica. So we put those out here so you don't have to go clicking around all over God's creation, right? Go back up here and go back out. All right, 2 things. Now, Mick, you definitely want to write this down for sure. When you're looking up quotes for Americo, please do not use this quoting tool. Please don't, because it's wrong. I don't know if it's a bad link or somebody hasn't updated it, whatever the case is, it gives the wrong rates. That's simply put.
Just on fflgo.com
when you go just for Americo and AIG, I'm going to get to AIG in a second. So I'm going to show you where to go. Now,
okay.
You just kind of take a screenshot of this in your brain, right? It says Americo, it says quotes. Yep. All right. On the Ffl Genesis website, see on the left-hand side where the Americo logo is, and it says Americo quotes, I'm going to click on that. It looks exactly the same. So where you're going to want to go to do Americo quotes is you're going to want to go to Americo quotes out here on our website. If you use FFL Go right here, your rates are going to be wrong.
Is there any reason I wouldn't want to use the quoting tools just from the FFL Genesis site, or is FFL Go better for certain carriers?
Well, no. Let me go back. Let me go backwards for a second. So on our Genesis page, what we've done is FFL Go. I mean, you could set that up separately if you wanted to, but you're going to run into a situation where you're going to have to quote Americo. Then you're going to have to come out here and do it. You're going to run into a separate situation where you're going to have to quote AIG. You're going to have to go into the AIG app to do that, which I'm going to show you here in a second. I want to make sure I'm not making this any more difficult than, because it's really not difficult.
Okay.
The only 2 sites that you're going to have to not use their quoting tool on FFL Go is going to be Americo and AIG.
Got it.
Okay. So I'm going to go back to FFL Go, and you can see it gives me an option to run quotes on here. Don't use this for Americo.
Got it.
Hopefully I'm not making that confusing. Now, here's the other part of that. Underwriting guides, that's perfect. Contacts, I highly recommend you guys using this for contacts. That way you're not trying to Google a phone number for a carrier and it's the wrong phone number, or it's a retail phone number, those kind of things. So that really is that number right down at the bottom, that 231-0801. That's the best number for us from a customer service sales support number. Okay, the swabs, all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to get into that this morning, but check this out. So I'm going to click their drop down box again, right? And let's say this time I click AIG. So see how you still have an option for quotes for AIG? You see that, Mick?
Yes.
Okay. When I click view quote, it's going to pull up a PDF. Here's the reason why you don't want to use this, because the rates are 1,000,000% wrong. Look when it was last updated.
Oh, lovely.
Exactly. And I'm telling you, I say it all day long, and then people come out here and they use these rates, and then they go into the application and it's lower, and now you have to have a conversation about why their rate went up, right? Right. So if you forget everything I tell you today from a quoting standpoint, please remember with Americo, you're going to want to come back out here and use the quoting tool on the website, not in FFL Go. And also with AIG, make sure you do not use the quoting tool that they have on here. It's just that sheet of paper. Okay. Yeah. Where you're going to get the rates for that is you're actually going to go out. You're going to click the e-app. You're going to go into their application, which takes 30 seconds to go into, and then go from there. There's a video on YouTube for that as well. I think it's just under Ffl Genesis AIG. And I walk through the whole app getting rates and everything else. All right. Any more questions there? I want to make sure I didn't confuse anybody, because I know that was a lot in a little small period of time. Okay. So we're going to come back out here, and let's say you were to have to go to Aetna, was the carrier that makes the most sense for that particular person, right? Aetna is not in the drop-down box for FFL-Go. That's the reason why we created a link for it. Let me get out of here. We created a link for it here. You simply go to Aetna, and there you go. Pretty cool. Now, the first time, I know you guys, not all you guys have Aetna yet, but the first time you get Aetna and you go to log in, most of the time your screen is going to be shifted to the left. If that's the case, just pick up the phone, call Aetna. It's literally just a couple clicks on your laptop, your iPad, your Android device, whatever it is. There's going to be a video that I was actually working on it last night. I just didn't like how it looked. But there's a video that we're going to be putting out going over this as well, the Aetna application. Now, two things. Aetna is one of the companies where you can go in and actually practice the application. I wish most of the other carriers did this as well. Sandbox. What the sandbox does is allows you to go in and play around with the application. So you can go all the way into the application, all the way to the point to where you're to where you would actually submit the application, but they shut that part of the site off. So literally you can go through, ask all the questions, run a practice application, everything else. Now you can see in the top left-hand corner, it says Sandbox Aetna. If you don't see that and you thought that you were out in the sandbox to practice, make sure you're not, otherwise you'll be running a live app. Anybody have any questions there?
Not necessarily for Sandbox Aetna, but if I were to, or somebody was to, try to practice on another app with some of the other carriers, would that be a bad decision because then that's always there, or how does that work?
Nope. Great question. So the only two companies that we have right now, Mick, that allow you to practice on an application, if you will, is you have Aetna, which I just showed you. Okay. And then you have Americo, which you're going to be using a lot of, right? So yeah. Americo's is Agent Cafe.
Okay.
So you guys still see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. AgentCafe.com. Now, here's the deal with Agent Cafe. Again, this allows you to go through an entire application from top to bottom. Agent Cafe also allows you to go into the real application. So make sure you're always in demo, and I'm going to click on it so you can see it. So make sure you're always in demo, and make sure you're paying attention to that when you come into the site. Okay. So that quoting tool that I just showed you guys, that I said, make sure you only use that, quote.americo.com. If I click on that, it's going to take you out here. That should look familiar from a couple seconds ago. Okay. The other part is we're just going to click on the demo site. So where it says sedemo.americo.com, I'm going to click on Try eApp. And what it's going to do is pull up the actual, this is exactly what the Americo real site looks like. It acts, functions, and participates just like the Americo site. Now, how do I know that I am in the demo site? First thing, top left-hand corner, it actually says it. And then it says this site at the top in yellow and red. This site is for demonstration purposes only. Okay, so you can come in here, you can practice, you can do test apps, you can do everything all the way through the end. So from that standpoint, I'm going to click on new app. We're not going to go through this right now because there's a video on YouTube for this as well. But new e-app, we're just going to put a date of birth in here. Oops. We're going to put a name. And when you put this in there, this tracks to the application. So hopefully you guys can see it fuzzed out the American Eagle Premier series. So if I try to tap on that, you see it says on the screen, this product is not available because of the issue age. So these are smart applications. If I were to change this to July 16th, 1940, watch what happens. The only thing that comes up is the Eagle Premier. All the other programs are blanked out because they're not eligible because of this person's age. So if I try to click on that, I just clicked on any of them. Continuation, this product is not available because of the issue age. So you'll learn these things pretty simple. I'm going to show you guys something else here in a minute that will really help with this. Plus you have all the other numbers to call, which I'll give you guys again today as well.
I have a quick question.
Fire away.
I'm pretty new to the whole life insurance game. So obviously Americo offers a fair amount of products just based on the screen we're just looking at. Is that typical of most carriers that they all have like a number of life products, or? Yes, but I will tell you this, Mick. First of all, great question. Second of all, yes, but you're only going to use certain all the applications are going to be virtually the same. Okay.
The questions that you'll ask will be virtually the same. So don't rack your brain trying to figure out which product, what's this, what's that. We'll help you with that.
Okay.
And
cool.
we do that on these trainings and stuff all the time. Plus there's other videos to watch and all that. So I don't want you to think we're doing all the training like, oh, watch the video, watch the video, watch the video. It does help. But again, any of these things that we have, this is training, especially this one, we can slow things down, go through application, let you know where they are. So just because you asked, I'm going to do this just really quickly. So we're going to just put a birthday in here and we're going to open this up. So where this person is eligible for almost all of them. Okay. So when you have a conversation, with somebody and you're kind of going back and forth and you're not really sure which direction to go, you figured out what dollar amount, you literally pick up the phone and you're going to call me because you and I work directly together. So I'm going to give you guys a couple phone numbers now. So Mick, you have my phone number. Paul, I know you have Christy, you can call and text me at any time. Michael, you're direct to me as well. So let me give you guys a phone number. It is the Velocity in-home helpline. Again, the Velocity in-home helpline. And what this line is set up for is when you're in the home and you're working with someone and you're not really sure which carrier to put them with, or you're not sure what that medication does and all those other things, that's what you can do. But make sure you have the inventory, which I'll show you guys here in a second, the inventory form completed so that they can help you. This is what I mean by this, the credibility sheet and the inventory form. So if you've watched any in-home video at all, you've seen this form or some variation of it. If you're not completing this when you're in there, you're just guessing at how much coverage they need. You really are. And you need to find out what their health conditions are and those kind of things as well. Okay. I'm gonna take a step back here though. Make sure we get Mick's question answered. Okay. So Mick, you can see this person's birthday is July 1st of 1975. So they're 46 years old. Because of that, the Eagle Premier, you can see, is gone, but they have options to all the rest of these programs. So as an example, this person, let's say we're looking for 100% return of premium, okay? And don't get caught up in all the terminology yet, Mick. 100% return of premium. So the CBO 100 is the option that's for them. I'm simply going to click on that. And now I have a button in the bottom right that says create. What this is going to do is create the application for this person. So I'm going to put the name in here again, just so you can see it. Test Smith, and I'm going to hit create. What this is going to do is take me out to the application, right? And it's going to pop up here in just a second. So at the top right-hand corner, Mick, do you see where it says Test Smith Male?
46, Missouri.
46, Missouri. You got it. So what it's done is it's created an application for a 46-year-old male in Missouri. Now stay right there where it says Test Smith, and I want you to go all the way across. Just take your eyes directly across the page from right to left where you see it says CBO 100. Do you see that?
Yep.
That is this particular application for Americo for this product.
Okay.
And I know you see the check marks going down, or the circles without, watch this. I'm just going to put in my agent code because this is the dummy site, so it doesn't matter. Ffl QP5. I'm going to hit the screen. You can see my name pre-populated in, and any place you see a yellow, kind of a yellow bar, whatever the case is, that means there's information to put in there. So am I with the person? Yep. I'm going to hit that. It already put Mr. Smith's name in there, so there's nothing else for me to do. Any place you see a blue dot or anything like that, it's telling you can go ahead and proceed through the application. When I hit next, see how we got a green check mark under the introduction now?
Yes, I do.
So you just keep going down the list. So if you miss something, so I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. I'm going to hit next. It's going to tell me, hey, you didn't complete the information. The content on this page will not be available until you validate the previous page. So I'm going to go back and hit on the left-hand side where the legend is, insured's information. It's going to take me back there, and then I just put their information in. You can't screw this application up. Now, I will tell you this application works the same just like the rest of them. But it looks like there's a lot of information. Man, you can whip through one of these applications in no time.
Okay.
Yeah. And once you do one, you're going to do a ton of them. So I'm going to show you this. I'm going to click on, do you see where it says this site is for demonstration purposes only?
Yes.
At the very top. Okay. It says new e-app. So I'm going to click on new e-app. And again, it's going to ask me for a new application, right? So I'm going to go 07. 01 1940. Okay, so you already see what popped up. The only thing that's eligible for this particular person, we're going to call him Tess Jones. One. The only reason, or we'll hyphenate Smith. Okay, oh, there we go. I like Smooth better. I don't know how that happened, but I'll take it. So you can see because of Mr. Smooth's age, the only thing that popped up was the Eagle Premier. But you would know that before you got there anyway, trust me. So I'm going to click on that. It's going to create an application. So I'm going to go create, because remember, you're looking for blue bubbles. You're going to hit create, and now it's going to create an application for the Eagle Premier Series. So again, let's go up to the top right-hand portion. There's Test Jones Smooth. He's a male and he's 81 years old. Again, I'm going to put in my agent code, FFL QP5. It's going to pre-populate because it knows it's me. Am I with the insured? Yes, I am. His name and all that stuff's in there. Let's say I forgot to make the S capital. It's going to fix it in the application, and will even fix itself on the top right-hand portion of the screen. You guys see how it already flipped and fixed itself? See
Yes.
that? Okay. So now I'm going to hit next because we got everything completed on here. I'm going to hit next. And once I hit next in that blue bubble, it's going to clear out and take me to the next page. This looks exactly like the other application. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's pretty cool. It's very simple. I know people get tripped up on this. I'm like, just take a deep breath. And when you can come out here and practice this stuff, you can take a look at it. So you could literally come out here, put the information in, answer all the questions. It's going to take you through the application and everything else. It's really simple, very simple. As a matter of fact, yes, go ahead, Paul.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're no worries.
You started this on through the Agent Cafe website?
Yes. Yep. Let me
Okay.
go back. Let me go back, Paul, just to make sure we're all on the same page here. This is if you look at the URL at the top, this is Agent Cafe. So Agent Cafe allows you to go in and practice applications. Just make sure you're in the demo. Because if I click at this one on the right-hand side where it says start, that's the real application.
Then you're going live.
Then you're going live. So what you want to do is make sure, if you're not sure if you've clicked on the demo site or not, just make sure that you're taking a look and making sure that it's going to indicate it. You're going to see at the top left-hand corner, it's going to say demo, and you're going to have the yellow line with the red writing on it. Okay. So watch this.
Okay, thanks.
You're very welcome since we're in here. So is the proposed insured going to be the owner? Yes. We got Mr. Tess, we got Jones Smooth, we got that middle initial. We're just going to say J, his address. No, we said we're in Missouri. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to put his address in. You wouldn't do this because I just used a pre-populated deal. Oh, this is another little quick tip, if you will. When state, instead of you having to scroll all the way down, I know we're in Missouri, so I just hit MO and it comes up. Then you just tap it, it fills in. So you put the address in. How many years has the person lived at this address? We're going to say 20 years. He's a male. Phone number, we're going to go cell phone. Just going to pick a number here. Literally, you can get to this application this quick. So we're going to use my email just because. We're going to re-enter the email. Now, on all the applications now, you have the option to electronically deliver a policy. Please uncheck this box, please. And here's why. Most people think about this. Over $7 billion every year for life insurance goes unclaimed. And that's because people buy policies and then they don't tell, it's weird, they don't tell their family that they bought life insurance and it goes unclaimed. This is another reason why. I mean, it's a great feature, but if you're selling somebody, a full, especially a whole life, a senior person that probably doesn't have access to a printer, probably, and if they don't get the information sent to them in the mail, they're probably not going to do anything with it. But if you leave that box checked, they're going to send the policy information to their email. So I highly recommend unchecking that box for a multitude of different reasons. Okay. We're going to enter in a social. Okay. And then city whether they were born in, St. Louis. State, I'm going to say Michigan. I don't think there is such a thing, but that's okay. Everybody see this? Because I know I'm like flying around the application. Let me go back and change that number So to fill in. Okay, we're good there. All right, so now I'm going to go next. Now here's the deal. You see, first of all, on the left-hand side of the screen, now we've got the second check mark, right? The Eagle Premier is the program that we're with because this covers people between ages 50 and 85. Okay, I'm not going to go into much more of the particulars, but we're going to say this person is looking for 30,000 worth of coverage. Their date of birth is 7/1 of 40. They're 81. If they're not on Social Security, we're going to say no, okay, because that doesn't really change anything. The effective date is today. Now, let's say they wanted to change the effective date to 11/1. You simply click change the date right here. And I'm just going to come out here and I'm going to change the date. I'm going to click the 1 and it changed it to 11/1. All right. Now we're going to ask the questions about, do they smoke? Nope. We're going to say he is 6 foot tall, 185 pounds. All right. Lean and mean. Go down to the bottom here. No, we won't do any premium loans. And I'm going to hit calculate. Now, once I hit calculate, watch what happens. I'm going to hit calculate. And what it's going to do is tell me what the rate is. Okay. 543.62. Everybody still with me?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. 548.62. So what I'm going to do, just to give you guys a quick example. So this is an 81-year-old person that's looking for $30,000 worth of coverage. Okay. So we're going to come back out here. Now you would have obviously done this ahead of time. We're going to go to quotes for Americo. We're going to click on Missouri. Now you would have done this ahead of time to pull up the rates. Okay. Eagle Premier. If I'm going too fast, let me know. And we said this gentleman was 81, non-smoker, and he's looking for $30,000 worth of coverage. 543.62. Everybody see that? Now, when I come back out here to the application, 543.62. Pretty simple stuff. So now we're going to go next. When I click next, it's going to take me to the next page of the application. You can see the screen grayed out, so you know that. Now, here's the cool part about this application. Then I'm going to move forward from here because the rest of it is just basic stuff that you guys can practice. I'm going to click sign authorization. If you're with them, you're going to go tablet. If you're not with them, you're going to go email sign, which that's why you needed the email earlier, right? So we're going to go sign tablet. You're going to love this, Mick. We're going to click sign because remember the blue boxes are letting you know there's something that needs to be done. So this is just basically saying that they're being truthful in their application, blah, 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 blah. If they're declined, they're going to get the information in the mail. They're going to get paper copies because obviously we're going to send them to them. In about 7 to 10 days, they'll get that information. We're going to check the box, agree. We're going to go confirm. This explains that every time since they've been a child in the United States, everything that they've done has gone in what they call a Medical Information Bureau, also known as MIB. If there's any discrepancies that they have, this information will be sent to them with their application if they're declined, or when they get the policy, it's there as well. And you guys can see the phone number, second paragraph, first line, far right is a number to the MIB. Don't know if you want to save that or not, but it's out there. Okay. We're going to scroll down to acknowledge that. When you hit sign, this basically operates like DocuSign, if any of you guys are used to that. And then we're going to have Tess Jones sign the application and then hit OK. And then we're going to hit finish. Now, if we had not done that and you tried to go through the application, those bubbles down at the bottom right-hand portion of the screen, finish and decline, they'd be there, but they'd be grayed out. You would not be able to use them. So we're going to hit finish. And now we have another blue bubble, right? Because there's nothing else on the screen. So we're going to hit OK. When I hit OK, it's going to take me back out to this screen. And now it's going to start the underwriting process. So we're going to initiate underwriting. Now, let me tell you this, Mick, what's going on right now. When you hit initiate underwriting, this is taking, so they're already pulling this. If this were a real application, they would be pulling this already. What they're doing is they're doing a soft pull. This is not credit. They're doing a soft pull on their MIB, their medical information, and it's basically verifying what they're going to say about their health. but this is giving you a tentative, I guess, approval. But if this thing comes back and it tells you that they're approved for 30,000, I just continue on the application. I don't tell them that they're approved yet, because they could tell you something that maybe they didn't tell you when you were doing the in-home inventory, etc. Does that make sense to everybody?
Absolutely, yeah.
Perfect. So I'm going to hit, because we got another blue button here, right? Because you're like, why isn't it doing anything? I'm going to hit initiate underwriting and watch what happens. Now it's going to tell you it's going to take a few minutes, right? It's already come back. The initial underwriting check is complete. If it goes away, guys, just touch the message box again. You can do it as many times as you want. Initial underwriting check is complete based on the proposed insured's prescription check. The proposed insured may qualify for a level death benefit product up to the amount of 30,000. Well, that's what Mr. Test was looking for, right? You can continue through the application. Now, if he did have something in his background or in his health history that was not going to allow him to proceed forward, it's going to tell you. It's not going to tell you exactly what it is, but it's going to tell you. So think about this. The only thing you've done at this point is put your information in. How long did that take? 3 seconds? You just put your agent code in, it verified it was you, and you said you were with the person. Their name is already pre-populated from the first page. The insured information, all you put in was their address, just basic information they'd know off the top of their head, right? Address, phone number, email, you're with them, and their social. You're going to hit next. That's going to take you to the next product page. How long did this take? You knew he was looking for 30,000. You've already put the age in there, the effective date, how tall he is, and hit calculate so that you know that the rate that you gave him earlier matches the rate that's going to be actually on the application. And then you went to initial underwriting. Guys, I'm telling you, when you're in a home, you'll get to this process once the person says yes and that they're fine with the rates. You'll be at this point of the application within about 2 minutes. So you're going to know in less than 5 minutes if this person qualified or not. Now, Mick, I'm not sure if you even noticed this or not. Top right-hand portion of the application, you already have their policy number. You see that? AM 477432767. It's pretty slick. Pretty slick stuff. And then the rest of this is very, very basic stuff. So now that we know that they qualify, I'm going to hit next, and you start asking them the health questions. Very simple stuff. When you get to the end, it's going to put the policy number on the page. It's going to say congratulations, all that kind of stuff, and you're just going to hit submit. Any questions? Yes, sir.
So you said you know that they qualify, but then you're going through the health questions. So are they not, but they're still not approved yet? Can you differentiate between qualify and approved?
100%. Great question. So let's go back to the origin of this deal, right? You go into the home, you sit down with the person, and you go through all the stuff. Can I choose on or off? Can we sit at the kitchen table? You're going to build a little rapport, and then you're going to pull out this guy right here. You should have tons of these printed out. I always print them in color because I think it looks more professional. You can print this out and highlight it so that you don't have to give multiple ones, but I have my reasons for why I do it. But from that perspective, I'm going to pull this guy out. I'm going to go over this. You're going to see this in every presentation here at Ffl. I don't care who you watch, they're going to do this. You're going to go through it. You're going to do all this stuff, and then you're going to start asking the questions. You're going to know the answer, Paul, to most of the questions I'm going to flip back to, because you're going to have asked them those questions right here. That's the first part. Does that confuse anyone? Okay.
No, that makes sense. Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. So that's going to make this even easier. I feel like I got 1,000 windows open now. So if you've asked them all the questions, right? You've asked them all the questions here, and they've told you, yes, I have high blood pressure. I'm taking 2 medications. I'm taking this one for this and this one for this. I've been taking them for the last 5 to 7 years, and I have COPD. And that's what they tell you they got. I've had COPD for 3 years, and I'm taking this medication for that. Okay? Because you've asked them heart attack, stroke, TIA, cancer, stent, diabetes, neuropathy, high blood pressure, lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, asthma, COPD, thyroid, anxiety, depression, kidney or liver disease, or anything that I didn't mention. And they tell you all that. When you get here, where's my application? When you get here and you start going through this, they already told you what they have, right? So you would, before you even got here, you're going to have picked up the phone, call the in-home helpline, or you would have gone to one of the guides, the term or the whole life guide, before you got to filling out the application. Does that help, Paul?
Yeah, I see. So you've already got
the information,
that knowledge.
So you
okay.
Absolutely. You would not be, I guarantee you guys, if you follow the process, there's no way on God's green earth, if you follow the process, that you would be at this point without knowing they had cancer or COPD. Now, I'm going to put one giant asterisk on that. The only way, if you've asked the questions and they're truthful, you wouldn't be at that point. But if they've told you a fib or weren't, let's say they weren't honest with you, and then you get here and they say, yeah, I didn't want to tell you, but I actually do have, I have COPD. Now you got a different issue on your hands, right? So I just clicked on that, but based on this application, it tells you. So you don't have to worry about proceeding through the rest of the application and wasting your time. Unfortunately, based on the answer to this medical question, we have determined the proposed insured does not qualify for the simplified issue level benefit. Pretty simple. It tells you. All right. Every now and then you're going to get somebody that's going to be dishonest with you, and that's going to happen. Okay. But based on the information of what's in their MIB so far, they would have qualified. That's why you don't tell these people they qualify when you get this message. If you didn't do a good job on the front end, it's going to show up on the back. And that's why when I'm working with people, I always tell them, follow the process. Because if you get to this point, there's something you did wrong. It's not the client, it's you did wrong. You skipped a step. That makes sense to everybody?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yes. Now, let me give you guys a couple phone numbers I was going to give you a minute ago before I forget. It is the Velocity in-home helpline. So let me give you guys an example of what that is. The Velocity in-home helpline allows you to ask questions before you get to the application portion. Okay. The second thing that it does is going to give you a peace of mind in a home. So let me take another step back. For those of you guys that work directly with me, Paul, if you can't get Christy, you got my phone number. You can always call. You know that. You're going to call. If you've gotten to the point where you've gone through the guides, which I'm going to show you guys here in a second, and you can't figure it out, call your business partner, your direct business partner. Okay. If you can't get a hold of them, you're going to call the Velocity in-home helpline. There are 20 agents that are doing 20,000 or more per month. Every agent on there is doing 20K or more per month. The number to them is 800-304-6235. 800-304-6235. Now, let's say for some strange reason, nobody answers on the Velocity in-home helpline. Okay. You're then going to call Todd Hausberger. I'm going to spell his name. He's the only Todd Hausberger in the entire United States, right? And he is a rare breed. Hausberger is spelled Hausbeer. G as in girl, ER. Todd Hausberger. Phone number 602-692-3903. 602-692-3903.
What time zone is he in?
Say it again.
What? I'm sorry for interrupting. What time zone is he in?
I'm not telling you because it doesn't matter.
Okay.
You can call anytime. Okay. And I already told you when you and I talked the other day, you call, I don't care if it's midnight. If I'm up, I'm going to answer your call because I'm probably going to be like, what the hell is he calling for? He must really be in need of something. Right. And guys, I'm not trying to put Todd and Chris and all those guys on. I would tell you normal business times between 8 and 5, probably 8 and 8. And somebody's probably going to answer even after that for the Velocity in-home helpline. Todd will help you anytime. And the guy I'm about to give you, Chris, will help you anytime. But if it's that late, guys, just call me. I'm going to be able to help you figure it out because most of the time I'm sitting here in front of my laptop or iPad anyway. So here's what I need you guys to do. A quick assignment that you're probably not going to do because you're going to be like, I don't know this person. I'm not going to do this. I've already talked to them and they're perfectly fine with this because they are a resource for us. Text Todd when we get off of here, or you could text him now if you want to and say, hey, my name's Mick. Give me your first last name, Mick. And just started with you guys. Corey gave me your phone number as a reference. He's going to say, okay. And he's going to save your number in his phone. If you're calling Todd, because you don't know him yet, if you're calling Todd, you're telling him, hey, I'm in a house right now and I'm in a sticky spot and I'm not sure which direction to go. He's going to answer. Here's why. Because first of all, he's going to know you tried to call me and I didn't answer. You called the Velocity in-home helpline and nobody answered. So that's really 21 people. And now you're calling him. So that's basically an emergency call. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Here's the next number, and do the same thing with this guy as well. Text Chris. I'm going to give you all of his information and do the same thing you just did with him. Hey, Corey, part of Genesis, and just wanted to give you give you my phone number, my contact information, just in case I need to call. Chris is going to say thank you. Save your number into his phone. So if you call, he knows you've gone through me, you've gone through Velocity in-home helpline, then you've called Todd, and now you're calling him. They're going to answer. Chris Schiavo, his last name is spelled Schiavo. Schiavo. Chris's phone number, 979-204-0995. 979-204-0995. His name's Chris Schiavo. All right. Any more questions about, and you guys can practice all this stuff. Any questions about, well, first of all, let me say this. The practice app doesn't go anywhere. You can go all the way through the end. It doesn't go anywhere. So even if you don't have to put your real social security number in there. You can put a made up address, all that kinds of stuff. I will tell you, I know when people have done this before, they screw up. They'll click on just whatever state, but then they'll put their resident, let's say they'll click on Missouri, but they live in Alabama for whatever reason. The application is going to go, wait a minute, you're telling me that you're doing an app for Missouri, but the person lives in Alabama. Just be aware of that when you're practicing, because you're going to get caught up. All right. Pretty simple stuff. Any more questions before I X out of this? I got 1,000 windows open.
Good to go.
All right. Good. Perfect. Okay. So let's go back out of here. We'll get out of join. All right. Next, I'm going to leave this up for a second because I want to talk about that here in just a little bit. Okay. We're going to get out of Aetna too. Talked about the sandbox with Aetna. Okay. So let's go to comp. All right. Actually, let's go to the new one. Yeah, I think I got most everything in here. So 2 different things just to make sure you guys are educated. The first thing is, we already talked about this earlier, right? The different levels, issue paid, all that kind of stuff. You do it in a week, 10,000 a week is a bronze level producer. It doesn't matter if it's a week, a month, or whatever. Okay. Now, a couple things here, and then unless you guys got more questions, I know it's been an hour. I can do this all day long, but we'll make sure you guys aren't stuck. So when someone starts here, now, I don't think we have anyone on our team that started at 90%. That's the street commission. I don't know if anybody is I know no one on our team. I know for sure is at 90, which is great. So when someone starts here, let's just say they started, they're a brand new agent, whatever the case is, and they're making 90%. Okay. For you to go from 90 to 95% and give yourself a 5% raise, all you have to do is sell issue pay $5,000 issue pay 2 months in a row. You can do that in a week. So 5,000 issue pay 2 months in a row takes you from 90% to 95%. So think about that. That's an additional 5% pay increase on everything that you've sold across the books. Now, how do you move from 95% to 100%? $10,000 issue pay 2 months in a row moves you from 95 to 100%, and so on and so forth. Okay. Now, I used to say that in order for you to get to the 135, 140, and 145, you had to have a team. Okay. I verified this yesterday. That's not true, because here's the deal. You have people that are starting to sell now. We've had somebody sell 100,000 in a week now. Now that's getting after it to sell 300,000 in a month by yourself. But I guarantee you at some point in time, somebody's going to do that. So before it was just producer contract, in order for you to get to the 135, you had to be building a team. But if you look on here, even though it says builder's contract, it doesn't say that you have to do that as a team to get that. It doesn't say that. And I confirmed that day before yesterday, excuse me. Does that confuse anyone? Because we don't want people thinking like most of our competitors, in order for you to move up, in order for you to advance, in order for you to have an opportunity at, really, really crazy, super high compensation, in order for you to do that, you have to build a team. That's just not true. Now, let's come back down to the bottom of this guy here. You're at 90%, okay? And you recruit 3 people on your team. And next month, your team issue pays $20,000. You move from 90 to 95 next month. Let's say the next month after that, your team does $25,000 issue pay. You go from 95 to 100. So here's the difference. You can see the numbers are right in front of you. There are no recruiting requirements. Okay, so you could have 3 people on your team doing $75,000 a month, and you're going to be at the 105% tier. It doesn't matter how many people it takes you to get there. It's just getting to that number of issue pay. Here's another awesome fact. Once you hit a level, you never go backwards. You and your team go crazy one month, and you do $250,000 issue paid that month. You are now at 130% comp. Now I'm going to say this too, because this is insane. Most companies don't do this. Let's say, for conversation's sake, and I don't want to jump around too much, that you're at 110. So you got a pretty sizable team, right? And you guys go crazy one month. I mean, just go absolutely out of your mind. Like you have 4 or 5 people that do 25, 30,000, and you issue pay in that month, 250,000. You would go from 110 to 130 next month and give yourself a 20% pay increase. Now, I don't know any place anywhere in the workforce, including insurance, where you can jump that many levels in 1 month. And once you get there, you never lose it. And recruiting doesn't come into play, or somebody doesn't like you, or they're in control of your pay. You are truly, truly, truly in control of how you give yourself increases. And you are truly the master of your own ship here. 300,000 is 135, 350,000 issue pay is 140, and 145 is 750 or more. Any questions on how the comp in reference to moving up levels works? It's pretty simple. All right, couple more really quick things. We already talked about that. So when you guys hear people you hear them logoing up and that kind of stuff, this is what that means. Okay. So I don't want to confuse what I just showed you and show you this. This is the different levels of FFL from a leadership from a leadership standpoint, moving up with levels. Okay. 50,000 issue paid in a month, 50,000, that's you and your team. 25,000 max can come from your personal production. So what they're trying to make sure you're doing is building an actual team, right? It's not just a team of one. When you hit 100,000, you're considered a senior sales manager. This is, again, issue paid in a month. Again, no more than 50,000, because people are doing that. No more than 50,000 can be from your own personal production. But here's where the magic happens. This is when you actually get your logo, is when you're a senior sales manager, when you see all the logos that people are getting, etc. Okay. 150,000 is vice president, 300,000 is senior vice president, so on and so forth, up to board member, senior board member, executive board member, which is 3 million. And I'm sure they're going to have to change that here before long as well. You have a lot of organizations that are doing well over 3 million. Everybody good with this? Yep. Did I lose you guys? Okay, perfect. You guys can still see my screen too, correct?
Correct.
Perfect. Thank you. Mick, is this a lot?
Kind of like drinking out of a fire hose, but in a good way, I guess.
Yep. So I'm happy to go over this stuff with you. Matter of fact, there's a video out there for this too. Ffl Genesis, I believe it's under compensation, and I cover all this stuff. They just added 145 to the mix. which is obviously not a ton of people at 145, but I think I am going to do a new video and update the video with the 145 on there, just so the video's correct. So 2 things I'm going to show you guys, okay? And then I'm going to let you guys go unless you guys have additional questions. I will do this as long as you guys need. Okay. So let's just go. You guys can see at the very top, they've added the 145 tier that was not on there before. Okay. So this has been updated. So let me give you an example. Let's go, just to keep things simple, let's go to where it says at the top left-hand corner, FFL contract. Okay. And then go down the page, go all the way down, and I'm going to show you guys a live example of this as well. Go all the way down to where it says 100%. Okay. So I'm going to give you a verbal, and then I'm going to show you a written here in 2 seconds. So 100%, you help somebody with what they call a term 125. Okay. Or what they call, you see it says HMS, but it's really term 125. So if you see it, it's one and the same. If you're at the 100% tier, you're going to get 100%. So you help somebody out, it's $83 a month. $83 a month times 12 is $1,000 roughly. They're going to take that $1,000, they're going to multiply it by 100%, and they're going to multiply that by 75%, which would be 3/4 of the year or 9 months. That's what your advance is going to be. So that $1,000 sale, they're going to send you $750 about 24 to 48 hours later. Anyone confused there? Perfect. So let's stay in the same 100% tier. But now you've helped someone with an Eagle Premier, which is the product that we just went over with Americo on the demo site. 95%. $83 a month times 12 is $1,000. They're going to take that $1,000 and they're going to multiply it by 95%. $950 times 0.75, which is 9 months of the year. And then they're going to deposit 820 or 30, whatever it is. Sorry, Paul, because I know your brain's probably going crazy with me being wrong with the math. But $800 and something is going to be deposited into your bank account within about 24 to 48 hours. Does that confuse anyone? Perfect. Now, let's go into the next tier. Let's go into Mutual of Omaha. You see the big blue line for Americo, stay in the same 100% tier, go into the Mutual of Omaha tier, and go to where it says 86%. That is what they call Living Promise. That's what that actual program is called, Living Promise. So if you're at 100% contract with FFL, they have negotiated an 86% commission for you for Mutual of Omaha's Living Promise, or that's their senior program. Okay, same example, $83 a month, 83 times 12 is 1,000. That 1,000 times 86% is 860. And they're going to multiply that 860 times 9 months, because that's a 75% advance. That's going to be deposited into your account. Any questions there? Perfect. Now,
hey Corey, real quick.
Yes, sir.
So like you're on Mutual of Omaha there. It lists, I don't know, 6 or 7 or 8 or whatever it is, different products. Are those all products available that we can write through Mutual of Omaha? Or,
yep.
Oh, is that right? Wow.
This is our comp grid. Yep. That's
Gotcha.
Actually a really good question, Paul. Nobody's ever asked me that before. So let me give you a quick example here. I'm just going to slide. Now, don't try to memorize all this stuff, okay? I just want to show you guys this. So here is Colombian Financial. That's the first one, CFG. They have tons of products. We only offer 2. Royal Neighbors has 4. We only offer 4. That's all we can write is those 4, because you're not going to use those carriers that much anyway. Prosperity, we have whole life, we have prime term. We don't sell prime term. I think prime term is sold in some parts of the country, but all the places that we're at, we don't have to worry about it. So all we have with Prosperity is whole life, right? Foresters, it says Strong Foundation and Plan Right. They have other products, but those are the ones that we sell. NLG, you can see with NLG, the only one that we have, I think we have 2, but the Universal Life is the one that most people sell. It's the one we have the access to. I can go on and on and on. AMM has 13 products. We only offer 5. Great Western has several. We only offer their final expense guaranteed issue. John Hancock has 3, I think. We only offer 2, and it shifts. You don't even know which one you're selling. It's based off of the premium and based off the person's age. The application will automatically flip. You won't even see it. That makes sense? It's pretty neat.
Yep.
Aetna. If I went to Aetna and showed you all the products they had, the only one we sell is Ascendo. Matter of fact, I'm gonna show it to you. The only one we sell is Ascendo, and it's pretty neat. So you can see that's the only one that's listed here. So let me come out here just to show you guys this for just a second. Now I'm just gonna flip. I'm not gonna walk you guys through it. I'm just gonna flip to it so you can see it. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get logged in. You can see how quickly you can get logged into these things. I mean, it's pretty simple. I'm just gonna use the real app because it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna log in here really quick. We're gonna say 63123. We're gonna say that's Missouri. We're gonna say 07/01/1975. See, it popped in 46-year-old male. We're gonna use today as our effective date. So he's gonna put coverage in place today. I'm gonna say it's a male, non-smoker. I'm gonna hit view products. Look at all the products that Aetna offers on their MedSup, dental, vision, cancer, heart attack and stroke, in-home health care, recovery care, all the stuff. The only one that we offer is Ascendo. Now, not to confuse you, Protective Series Final Expense. That is a final expense program that they offer, but the only one we offer is Ascendo. Hopefully you guys can see that on your screen. So if I click on the plus, this is going to take me to the Ascendo product. Everybody see that? So if I come back out here to the comp grid and we look up Aetna, the only thing you see is whole life because that's all we offer is the Ascendo product. That answer your question, Paul?
Yes, thank you.
Perfect. You're very welcome. So the last thing that I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to give you a real life, like real numbers scenario, is AIG. AIG and Great Western work exactly the same. Okay? They work exactly the same. So if you're 100% FFL contract on the left-hand side, and you look all the way over to Great Western, your comp for Great Western is going to be 80%. Now just stick with me here for just a second. I don't want to confuse anybody, but these things work one and the same. If you're at the 100% tier and you write a policy with AIG, AIG is only going to pay 50%. Okay, here's the deal though. They pay 50% and you're only advanced 50% up front. Okay. With Great Western, same thing. If you're at 100% tier, they're going to pay you 80%. But again, they're only going to advance 50%. The cool part about these is that they're whole life. So as long as they stay on the books, you're going to get paid at least 10 years for it, which is awesome. And the other part about it is these are guaranteed issue products, so it doesn't matter their health. Now, pro tip for you, Great Western goes all the way down to age 40. AIG starts at age 50. All right, so let me give you guys a commission example.
So hey, Corey, so those
Yep.
are the two carriers the only two carriers that offer the guaranteed issue is the AIG and the Great Western. Is that correct?
Exactly right.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay. You good over there, Mick? I think I ran Mick off. Okay.
No, I'm good. I got a little busy there for a minute, but I'm
no, dude. I'm messing with you. I'm giving you a hard time. So let me give you guys this example. This is a normal example, and then I can type one out for AIG just to make sure that this is clear. Okay. So you help someone with an Americo CBO. That just means they're getting all of their money back. Okay. They call it cashback option. Americo CBO 100. And let's say that the annualized premium is $2,400 a year. That would be $200 a month. Everybody still with me?
Yep.
All right. $200 a month times 12, that's $2,400. Okay, I'm doing that backwards, and I'm doing it backwards and forwards for a reason. Your commission rate is 110. They're going to take 2,400 times 110%. That's $2,640. That is your actual commission that you are earned for helping that one person with a $200 a month commission. That's pretty darn good, right? You only need a couple of those a week. So now we're going to take your 2,640, and this is what I was talking about 75%. So that 75% equals 9 months of the year. It's one and the same. 75% equals 9 months out of the year. They're going to take your full commission amount, which is 2,640. They're going to multiply it by your advance, which is 9 months out of the year. So 75%. There's a couple different ways you can do that. $1,980 would actually be your advance that they're going to put in your account within 24 to 48 hours. Pretty darn sweet. But keep in mind, your full commission was $2,640. 2,640 minus 1,980 means you have a remaining $660 coming to you. Now, I'm going to go a little off script here. This is the reason why there are more self-made millionaires than any other industry, unless you hit the lotto or you're some type of tech person and hit the tech boom, because of the residual that you start to get. Okay? There is no back residual. You don't owe anything back to the company. It's nothing like that at all. This is one of the biggest reasons, one of them, why I came here, because nobody screws with your residuals. If you decided to leave and go work at another company in the insurance industry or elsewhere, it doesn't matter. And here's why. This is why FFL, in my opinion, is the best opportunity, period, especially in insurance. You own your block of business from day one. It belongs to you from the first policy you write to the last. And as long as those policies continue to stay on the books and keep paying, your family keeps getting paid. It's absolutely tremendous. Okay. There are no contracts with FFL. Your contracts are with the carriers. Now, I say that to say this, that $660 that's owed to you, keep in mind, it was a 9-month advance. So in month 10, you're going to get $220. In month 11, you're going to get, you guessed it, $220. In month 12, you're going to get $220, equaling your initial full commission of $2,640. Does everyone understand that? And if you do, you're better equipped than probably 90% of everyone else here at FFL, because most of these people don't question their account and they don't understand it, and it's not complicated. Now, here, I definitely want you guys to write this down or commit it to memory. Probably better if you write it down. You only get a renewal, right? You only get a renewal on whole life policies. So you get your 9-month advance and then month 10, 11, and 12 on a term. On whole life, based on 110% commission, I'm going to show you guys this here in just a second. Based on 110% commission, when they pay their 13th month, they're going to go back and say that person's policy was $2,640. They're going to take $2,640, multiply it by 5.5, and every year, year 2, 3, 4, and 5, you're going to receive $145.20 from that one policy. Year 6 through 10, they're going to take the $2,640 and they're going to multiply it by 2.5%. And every year when they pay, they're going to pay you out $66, year 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Does that confuse anyone? Very good. Oh. Last thing, promise, unless you guys have additional questions, here's that grid. Okay. So what do I mean by that? Let's just say, for conversation's sake, go to the very top right-hand bubble, dark blue bubble, where it says 115. Okay. So 115, you help somebody, whole life policy. They pay the 13th month. They're going to take that premium as example, that 2,640, They're going to multiply it by 5.75%, and you're going to get whatever that is in year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. The second tier is years 5 through 10. So when they pay their bill in the start of the 5th year, you're going to get 2.75% of their annual premium, year 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I'm telling you guys, I'm begging you, just give it. You don't have to give it the full 10 months. Just give it a year. You give it a year and you're going to start having a couple $1,000s a month come in before your feet hit the ground. And let alone once you start building a team, what happens there as well. It's pretty crazy. So I'm going to take myself off of all of this and see what questions you guys have. All right, I must have wore you guys out.
No questions, all good stuff, man.
Good. I'm glad you guys got something out of this morning. I appreciate you guys sitting for it. I was going to give you guys a break, but I'm like, I keep thinking we're getting towards the end and have another question. But guys, I'm here every Saturday. Of course, we'll start with commissions. We'll go through the stuff, but anything that you guys want to see, if there's something you want to see ahead of time, let me know. I can have it prepped and ready. But we're here to answer any questions you have, help you guys get through applications. Weird stuff comes up. Obviously, you want to reach out to your direct business partner first. You guys can reach out to me for anything. I don't care if it's Sunday, Saturday, whatever. I don't care. I'm here to help. Mick, anything?
So kind of non-insurance related,
Sure.
Not trying to be a weirdo. This question's for Michael. What kind of conditioner do you use? Because you have like the head of an angel.
Oh my God. He uses what is it? Troy Polamalu. Is it Pert? What does Troy Polamalu do?
I don't know, but now that you say that, it's very similar.
Oh God, I can't remember what Troy Polamalu. It's Head and Shoulders. That's what it is. Head and Shoulders. That's what he uses, is Head and Shoulders. Oh my God, that's great, Nick. I tease him all the time, and his hair does look like that. He does have beautiful hair for sure.
I believe it. It.
Well, Paul, Mick, and Michael, definitely Amy, I appreciate you guys spending some time with me this morning. If you need anything at all, you guys know we're just a Slack, phone call, email, text, smoke signal, Paul Revere. Just let us know. We're here to help you guys. Thank you guys very much for your time this morning. If you need anything at all, let us know.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Thanks,
Bye
Corey.
for now. Anytime.